Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Robert again. I'm here making another YouTube video, and this one's actually going to be geared toward hip-hop and Freemasonry. And as many of you might already know, I am a hip-hop producer, so this is kind of something that I'm really interested in, being that I am part of the fraternity and I am part of the music industry as well. So let's go ahead and get started here. The first person that I wanted to discuss, or the first thing that I want to discuss, is the relationship that people seem to make between Jay-Z or artists in particular, and Freemasonry. And it's really odd to me that happens, because knowing what it takes and what kind of person you need to be in order to be a Freemason, it's very odd to me for people like Rick Ross to be accused of being a Freemason and be part of the secret society, so to speak, and people like Jay-Z and other artists who have openly discussed things that are just not acceptable in Freemasonry. So it's very that part of it is very odd. But aside from that, it's what they take from his actions that speak, or that they like to tie to Freemasonry. And mainly his actions. What I'm talking about, his actions, is actually his symbols that he likes to use. And apparently in his clothing line, he likes to take a lot of Masonic symbols and put it into his clothing line, and that seems to be great marketing as far as I'm concerned. So let's go ahead and start with the famous triangle there, or the delta. If you're a mathematician out there, I know Don, you are. What's up, man? Hey, by the way, shout out to everybody from Acacia number 42. So the triangle is actually, when they show Jay-Z doing this symbol here, they like to attach that to the all-seeing eye. The eye right there, giving you a little example, which it needs to be understood. Those are two different symbols used in different ways, and you'll find them together, but you'll also find them separately. The triangle itself there, or as the Buddhists like to refer to it as, I'm gonna go ahead and reference my Buddhist symbols book here, the Trikona. So let's go ahead and give it a little. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and read you what they have to say about this symbol. Okay, that seems Jay-Z is throwing up, and it's funny that nobody is making the assumption that he is a Buddhist, but a Freemason. So let's go and see what they have to say about this symbol. Trikona, excuse me. The triangle pointing down symbolizes the feminine, and pointing up the masculine principle. The triangles superimposed form a six-pointed star. I want to go ahead and mention that part as well. Six-pointed star representing the union of the masculine and the feminine principles. This is the symbol for their dissolution of all duality. Okay, and one more time I'm going to show you. And that goes from my symbol I love, my devil-worshipping symbol. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and let you also, just to keep this video short, won't go into much of other civilizations that have used this symbol, but the point that I'm trying to make is that the symbol for the triangle predates Freemasonry. Okay, so nobody's out there saying that this guy is a Buddhist. Nobody's out here saying that he's Greek and he was a Greek mathematician, or it doesn't. But everybody seems to make the assumption that this equals Freemasonry, when in fact it does not equal Freemasonry. Although in Freemasonry you will find symbols, you will find many symbols, but these are not symbols that are Masonic. These are symbols that were adopted in Freemasonry, and these are symbols that we study, and these are symbols that we love to learn about. But that doesn't mean that they are Masonic. There's a big difference there. I want you to try to understand that. And let's go ahead and that's a great segue to my next symbol that seems to be associated with, would be the all-seeing eye. Alrighty, so the all-seeing eye, also known as the eye of providence, this is an interesting thing, because people like to point out, or people like to make the assumption that Freemasons are devil worshippers. And they like to point out the Great Seal. And in the back of the Great Seal, you see the unfinished pyramid with the Eye of Providence above the unfinished pyramid. And it's kind of odd, but when you study what the symbol actually means, you'll find that it again predates Freemasonry, so it's not a Masonic symbol, but it predates Freemasonry, and it goes all the way back to the Egyptians. And the Egyptians used this this symbol as basically, well, many civilizations use this symbol, but it basically meant the same thing across the spectrum there, that the eye represents God. Okay, so the unfinished pyramid could also represent man's need to consistently improve himself and to try to get closer to God in that aspect by consistently improving himself. And who else uses this symbol? It seems that not only did the ancient Egyptians use this symbol, you also find this symbol in Mexico. And this symbol, that the name for their symbol, that I was saying eye, is called the Ojo de Venado. Basically, that means the deer's eye. And basically what that is, it's the, let me see here. It's believed to be protection against the evil eye. Alrighty. So, once again, this is just something I'm trying to point out there, that symbols have been used for ages. And you will find them in so many different places. And just because one person makes that type of symbol, it's not right for you to automatically assume that he is part of this fraternity, which adopts a lot of these symbols, and it's to be interpreted. These symbols are to be interpreted, but they are not Masonic symbols. So because you do that does not make you a Freemason. As a matter of fact, I don't know any Masons that walk around doing this. And let me go ahead and state this right here off the bat. It is a fact that Jay-Z is not a Freemason. Because, well, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I believe, in my mind, I believe he is not a Freemason. Because Freemasonry is not something that you are scared to talk about. You talk to any Freemason, he'll be more than willing to discuss Freemasonry with you, so long as you're not accusing him of being a devil worshiper. You know, go up to a Mason. If you don't know a Mason, go to a Masonic lodge, talk to a Mason. They're not secret. Masonic lodges aren't secret. You know, you can Google your nearest local Masonic lodge. If you don't believe me, type in your city that you live in, type in Masonic lodge next to it, and you'll find that there's probably one within a couple of miles or walking distance of where you live at. All right. So what I'm trying to say is that if he was an actual Freemason, he would have said it already. And judging by his past and what he likes to discuss in his records, and although I am a big Jay-Z fan, you know, I'll go ahead and put that out there. Reasonable Doubt, one of my top favorite albums. I'm a real hip-hop fan. Okay, Rick Ross, not a Freemason. Not only would he have said it, but I highly doubt that a lodge would have accepted him. And I guess it's up to the lodge to make that determination on whether or not he is a worthy candidate for Freemasonry. But listen to his records. And once again, I'm a Rick Ross fan. You know, he has one of my favorite albums. But the things that he talks about are not things to help people. You know, he's consistently talking about things that are negative, and I'll just leave it there. Not Masonic. Alrighty.